Welcome back. The challenges cattlemen and women face these days are growing. That's why it's important to have an organization like NCBA to help represent U.S. cattle producers and their interests. And joining us now to talk more about the importance of joining NCBA is Sam Albrecht. He's the Senior Director of Membership. Sam, thanks for coming to the show.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Tell our viewers a little bit about the value they receive when they become NCBA members.
Well, the true value of membership is that work we do every day in Washington, D.C. to make sure that those producers at home can focus on their operational stuff on the farm, on the ranch, and not worry about what's going on in D.C. with legislative issues, regulatory issues, all that stuff.
Now, we mentioned legislative and regulatory issues, and certainly the 2017 priorities have been established by NCBA. How does being a member assist in achieving those priorities?
Well, you know, there's strength in numbers. So the more NCBA members we can have, the more our voice can be heard in Washington, D.C. And those are the issues that producers have decided to focus on for the year, and they're the issues that we're hearing about on a regular basis, and we can get more done with more members, and that's what is really important.
It really is about numbers of people, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And we've been talking about the legislative conference coming up here in March. Why is it important for producers to put that on their schedule?
It's really important for that Ledge Conference to attend that and really learn how to work with legislators. And we actually do some prep and training on how to focus on those issues, and then we go out on the Hill and we visit with legislators in both the House of Representatives and the Senate and the agencies. And so by doing that, you able to could have those legislators connect with you and get that local voice on those national issues. And then the flip side of that is then you can go home and talk to your state legislative representatives and then say, look, I've been to Washington, D.C., I've talked about this on the national level, this is extremely important, and it's also important on a state level, and here's why. And then you can make that connection again at the state level too.
Create some consistency between the messages being shared, the state houses, as well as the United States Capitol.
The consistency is extremely important, and that it's important enough for the producer to make the trip to D.C. and then to the state Capitol to send the same messages.
Now, Sam, I know you've been traveling a lot. You visit a lot of conventions across this country. What are you hearing from producers as you visit those state conventions?
Well, there's two issues that always come up: weather and the cattle market. But in addition to those, we hear the same thing that's on our 2017 priority list. How do we work with these federal agencies? How do we reduce burdensome regulations? How do we work with NRCS and EPA and Fish and Wildlife Service and all these guys in order to make sure that we can run our operation smoothly? So those are the things that we're hearing in the field.
I want to come back to something you said relative to this collaboration and cooperation between the state and national level. And we talk a lot at NCBA about the state and national partnership. What is that and why is that so important?
You know, we work very closely with at the national level with those state affiliates, and they're really our voice on what's going on that state level for the producers. And then it feeds up into that national priority issues that we come up with every year. So it really helps to have that relationship with the state level. We recommend folks join both the state and the National Cattlemen's Beef Association in order to make sure that our voice, and again, it goes back to that strength in numbers. The more members we've got in the states affiliates, the more members we've got at national, the more we can get done.
So I wanted to ask you about that because I know some people who say, Kevin, I'm a member of the state association. I really don't have time to get involved nationally or come to national convention. Why should I be a member of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association in addition to my state association? What do you say to those folks?
I tell those folks, you know, everything that I hear at the state board meetings and the state legislative reports has a national impact to it, whether it's working with NRCS, whether it's working with Fish and Wildlife on depredation permits, whether it's working on permits from BLM and Forest Service. It's very important at the state level, but it's also important at the national level. And if you can't separate state and national issues anymore because it's just so important. It's so intertwined and so important to work on both sides of the equation, the state side and the national side.
And I guess the most important question we should ask is, how do people become a member of NCBA?
Well, we make it pretty easy for folks. All you got to do is go to the beefusa.org website, click on the Join Now button, and fill out the form, and you're a member. Or you can call the 1-800 number and join that way.
Fantastic. Sam, thank you so much for coming to the show and sharing some perspective about the value of NCBA membership.
You bet, absolutely.
Sam mentioned some of the great reasons to become an NCBA member, but another one is the chance to read the National Cattlemen. It's the official publication of NCBA and provides timely news and articles about the issues and events affecting the beef industry. A subscription is included free of charge when you become a member of NCBA. Joining is easy. Just give us a call at 1-866-USA-BEEF or visit us online at beefusa.org.